This is KGW News at noon.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Brenda Braxton. There is now a deadline to get federal stimulus checks in the mail or in your bank account. President Biden wants COVID relief by mid-March. But what he's pitching is still billions of dollars beyond what Republicans will support. NBC's Tracy Potts has that and more.
President Biden at the U.S. Capitol paying respect to the police officer who died in last month's riot. As the president does battle with lawmakers here, the White House says he wants to hammer out a COVID relief deal by March 14th, just before extended unemployment runs out.
The risk here, as he has said many times, is not going too big. It is going too small.
Democrats are already making moves to pass Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus without Republican support.
We are not going to dilute, to dither, to delay.
We're off to a totally partisan start. I think that's unfortunate.
The administration's COVID response team announced they're increasing vaccine shipments to states and rolling out 1 million doses to thousands of pharmacies beginning next week. But Americans may still find it hard to get a shot.
It's going to be a couple of months. This is not an administration that's going to overpromise.
Meantime, President Biden is pivoting to immigration.
I'm not making new law. I'm eliminating bad policy.
Signing executive orders to reunite families, reform the asylum system, and review legal immigration policies, all while warning migrants not to try to cross the border. So a couple of different messages to Central American migrants approaching the southern U.S. border that the Biden administration is trying to make things more efficient there, but that now isn't the best time to come. I'm Tracy Potts.
If you get the COVID vaccine here in Oregon, your insurance is now required to cover it. This includes the vaccine, supplies, and paying staff. Public health officials say there should be no barrier, financial or otherwise, to protecting Oregonians from COVID. Contact your insurance provider if you have any questions. In the meantime, plans are moving ahead to start vaccinating Oregon seniors over the age of 80 starting next week. Pharmacies will soon be giving out the shots. That should be a big help because right now there are only a limited number of clinics where you can get vaccinated. Catherine Cook breaks down how it's going to work.
I was really excited about it. The first thing I did was contact you guys because
Nancy Duggan couldn't wait to talk about the latest COVID-19 vaccine news. Starting next week, the federal government will begin distributing 1 million vaccine doses per week to 6,500 pharmacies nationwide. Eventually, they hope to reach 40,000 pharmacies as the vaccine supply grows.
I said, oh, this is the way we get these older people in. We have to do this.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention shared a list of which pharmacies will offer the vaccine in which states to start. In Oregon and Washington, it's Albertsons, Safeway, Costco, and independently run pharmacies under the Health Mart franchise. That includes Brooklyn Pharmacy in Southeast Portland.
Very excited. We are ready to go.
Brooklyn Pharmacy owner Pat Hubble is still waiting for details, like how many doses they'll get, when they'll start administering them, and how. He's planning on extending pharmacy hours to help meet the demand safely and will post updates on Brooklyn's website. In the meantime, he's asking folks to hold off from calling their local pharmacies about the vaccine.
We really want everybody to understand that this is a work in progress. We still have a lot of questions that we have to answer for ourselves, but we do feel the ball is rolling in the positive direction to where I'm not going to say any dates here, but hopefully in the near future, we can start vaccinating folks.
Under CDC guidelines, those planning to get a COVID-19 vaccination at a pharmacy must still be eligible for one under their state's vaccine distribution plan. That doesn't change. Safeway and Albertsons are both offering appointment signups online. Company officials say as more vaccine doses become available, more appointment slots will open up. Nancy Duggan is hoping for one of them.
As soon as we know how, I will be there with bells on.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
You can check out this story on kgw.com to see a list of the local pharmacies that are expecting to get doses of the COVID vaccine soon. Developing news now. Portland police are investigating a shooting last night in the Powellhurst-Gilbert neighborhood. 7 cars and 3 homes were hit by gunfire. This happened on Southeast 122nd Avenue. 3 people walked into nearby hospitals with non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. So far, no one has been arrested for these crimes. Well, a thief is still on the loose this noon after stealing a doggy daycare van with dozens of dogs inside. Our Bryant Clerkley has more on what happened.
Horrified. I can't even, it's beyond even explaining.
Those are the words Sunny Liston is using to describe what happened to her Tuesday afternoon. She's the owner of Dog Patch Resort. Her doggy daycare van was stolen in Northwest Portland as she was dropping the dogs off to their owners. 12 dogs were inside at the time, including her own. Liston was outside by the back of the van when she felt it moving and quickly realized something was wrong.
I ran for the front and I grabbed the door and was pounding on the thing, but I couldn't get it. And he ran over my foot and he took off with all the dogs in the car.
Her phone was also still in the van. Some of her workers used the Find My Phone app to track it down. The phone pinged near Southwest 13th and Jefferson in the downtown area. She got the info to police, who found it. All the dogs were okay, which is what matters most to Liston.
As long as the dogs are safe, like I said, they could burn my house down. The dogs are everything.
This whole ordeal lasted about 40 minutes, but to her it felt like hours. She's still startled today. She wants to thank all those who helped her find the van, and to the suspect, she has one thing to say.
Thank you for not hurting the dogs. Thank you for shutting the door and not letting my dog out in traffic.
In Portland, I'm Bryant Clerkley, KGW News.
All right, it's just a little after the noon hour. We want to take a live look outside from our Skycam in the Dalles. Isn't that stunning? Lots of blue sky over that way in the gorge. Rod is here tracking the forecast. So is the sun winning out, or are we going to get any more rain?
Well, for stars, did you notice the Columbia River? Oh my goodness. Of course, it's reflecting off that blue sky. But
beautiful. I
hadn't seen that camera. I missed it when I was doing my little tour. So Brenda, to answer your question, I'm sorry. I was stunned by how sunny it is out there. The rain should be over. In fact, we're going to see increasing sunshine for the afternoon hours. You know, this morning a big deal was Timberline Lodge. They picked up 6 to 9 inches between Timberline and 9 inches over at Meadows from the snow that fell last night, 24 degrees. The Cascade Passes were very snow covered. You can see some improving conditions with a temperature of 28 degrees at Government Camp, but still slow going if you're going to be headed up over those Cascade Passes anytime soon. Here's the radar. Now we're looking at some rain and snow depending on elevation out around Pendleton. But otherwise, we are dry across our area. Here's the sunny camera I found, and back to the gorge we go. This time we'll stop in Hood River. This is Indian Creek Golf Course. A beautiful day there. Fairly light winds as well. Cannon Beach has had some blue patches. I'm seeing lots of folks out taking a stroll on the beach, 46 degrees. Downtown Portland, very cloudy still, 44. We'll be up to about 48. I think most of us will at least see partly sunny skies. What about March? What about April? What about spring? We'll talk about that outlook coming up.
All right. Thank you, Rod. Still ahead, rethinking your Super Bowl party this weekend. Tips on how to have a COVID-safe celebration. Plus, the Golden Globes. Yep, the nominations came out today. Who's on top and which Netflix shows made the cut?